So Shiva gave 7 secrets of success, and his explanation of them was actually an answer to a question by Parvati, his spouse, on what are the factors to succeed in the spiritual quest. And the first one was firm determination, and he explained that actually to succeed in anything, in any aspect of life, the first thing that you need is determination. You may have a goal, but if you don't have determination, then you cannot go past the obstacles. Then the second factor for success was belief, faith, reverence for your goal.
Shraddha.
Shraddha, yeah. He explained actually that there isn't an equivalent word for it in English that carries the same feeling. And the more fire and reverence and passion that you have for your goal, that's a significant factor. In Ananda Marga, we have a personal practice to remember our oaths, our initiation oaths, every morning when we wake up, and that practice helps to develop this feeling of Shraddha. Then the third one is
Guru Pujanam.
yes,
Means?
kind of devotion or worship to the Guru. And in many discourses he explains that we, as human beings, our capacity is quite limited. So the grace of the Guru is important. If you make a sincere effort, then the Guru will grace you with the capacity to succeed. So an intelligent person will not be the one who relies on his own qualities only. And there, of course, ego can develop. But I think the Ananda Marga approach is make your very best efforts, but realize that ultimately success depends upon the grace
Sure.
of the Guru.
So for expansive awareness, you need many insights, not only one. And therefore, though, you need a source of those insights. And that is
Yeah.
Guru in this wisdom tradition.
Yes, and the Guru, as I was saying earlier, is kind of like the embodiment or the personification of divinity. So when we are meditating on divinity or God in an abstract form, it's difficult for our human mind to grasp it clearly sometimes.
Sure.
And whereas if you meditate on the Guru, well, there you have all those qualities concentrated in one place. And one aspect of Tantra is that you absorb the qualities of that which you meditate upon. So for example, in Buddhist Tantra, you will see the Buddha in different mudras and different postures representing different qualities. And the disciple who meditates on the Buddha in all those mudras can absorb and gain those qualities for himself. So meditating on the Guru is a very quick way to get the qualities that you need.
Great. And Chaturtho Samata Bhavo.
Yeah, this is just the effort to maintain a balanced state of mind no matter what happens. And to do that successfully, you need some anchor point. And that can be something like your breath. It can be a chakra point which you use for concentration. It can be the mantra, or it can be a combination of those different things. So you have this anchor point, this thought, this reference point. It's kind of like the horizon. Right? You keep coming back to that horizon. You keep your touch or your grip on the horizon, and that helps you stay balanced.
So that is balance. And then Indriya Nigra. Panchamam Indriya Nigra, what does that mean?
So it basically means self-control. As Didi was saying today, many of the purpose is not to kill our different desires or tendencies, because they are kind of like the branches of a tree. If you cut off all the branches of a tree, it will die. But you have to train them and control them and direct them towards the proper source. And as I've been saying often, I think the Guru Mantra, or applying very consistently the idea that everything is divine, helps you do that with a balanced mind.
Great. And then Indriya Nigraha is also in the era of this degrading media influences to limit our Indriya toward those things, right?
Yeah, don't expose yourself to things that you know are going to bring you down. I think it was in the Judeo-Christian tradition, a very practical line that said, if your eye gives you trouble, cut it out.
I see. And then Sastamam Pramitahara, the food is coming here. Can you explain this a little bit?
Yeah, well, here it is, you should take food, to meditate, you need some energy and nutrition. So you should take nutritious food, but don't overdo it. I think there are many people who are very careful about what they eat, but they can't control the quantity. So Sri Anandamurti gave some practical advice. He said, when eating, you should divide your stomach into 4 parts. 2 parts you should fill with solid, 1 part you should fill with liquid, and 1 part you should leave empty.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you follow that rule, I think just not overeating is far more important, or is more important even than what you eat.
And what are the last one? 7th
The last one, I like this one. Shiva said there's no 7th secret, and I speculate that maybe he said you should have a sense of humor.
I see. Yes, when he said that, he was also creating a humor.
Yeah.
So in which context Parvati asks this question, and what were the exact questions? And in which context he replied to these 7 sutras?
I don't know those details, but I just know that Parvati, if you've had the experience yourself, if you're talking to people who are not very knowledgeable about a subject, they don't know what questions to ask. So Parvati actually most likely knew the answers to these things, but she was the voice of the common people. So she put the questions to Shiva to get the information which everybody needed. So she was like speaking on their behalf.
All in all, the success means that you see Dada, this different flower here, it's nature, these birds are singing. To see divinity in everywhere, right? That bird is singing, they're singing for us, whether we listen or not. And this flower, they look almost dead some time back, and they are coming now. For what they are doing?
Well, it's very interesting, I had a friend who was making medicines from flowers, and he would actually go, and he was a very psychic person. He would go and sit next to a wildflower,
Okay.
meditate, and ask the flower for what do you treat? What problem do you treat? And the flower, the deva of the flower, would respond to him.
I see.
And the medicines that he made from these flowers were so effective that he actually became honored with a knighthood for the quality of his medicines and his work.
I see.
So before he became very famous, I was visiting his house, and he said, he knew I was curious about what he was doing. So he said, come with me, Dada, and I'll show you how the flowers work. And so he took me to his living room, And there was a big window looking out on his garden. And there was some small flower pots with different colored flowers there. So he said, look out the window and tell me what you see. So I looked out his window and I described the garden.
Yeah.
And then he said, now take this part of your hand and put it on this little purple flower and look out the window again and tell me what you see. So I put my hand on the flower, I looked out the window, and suddenly I felt as if I'm looking through a camera which is zooming. I felt my attention go to the furthest tree or telephone pole on the horizon. And it was such a powerful experience that I kind of went, "Huh?" And then he looked at me and he said, this flower is a remedy for when your mind is caught up with the immediate situation and you can't lift your head up and see the bigger picture. He didn't ask me what I had experienced, but that was exactly what I had experienced. And when I took my hand off the flower, I looked at it and it seemed like a pixie or an elf or a fairy or something like that. It had a personality. And then I looked around at all the flowers and they all had this kind of quality of, that they have some kind of magical power.
Sure. Can you just demonstrate me a little bit exactly in the beginning I missed a little bit. What he asked you to do, can you show me in that flower?
Yeah, he just asked me to put this part of my hand like this on the flower.
Yeah.
And then holding it there, look out the window. And,
so you will be looking toward a window after holding it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he asked me to tell him what I saw.
Okay.
So what I saw was just my whole attention was picked up and pulled towards the distant horizon.
Okay. Can you explain the last part again? When he asked you to see?
So when I first looked at the garden, he first, without touching the flower, he asked me to look at his garden.
Okay.
So I just described what I saw there. When he asked me to touch the flower and look, my attention went like this to the furthest thing that I could see in the distance.
Okay, and then?
Yeah. And that was it. I just had this experience of this, my whole attention was just picked up and expanded.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So that flower helped you to expand your awareness when you hold there, and then you saw that side.
That flower helped to expand my awareness.
Expansive awareness.
Yes, and then my feeling after that was I had not been conscious of what the flowers are doing. We walk up a little lane. There are flowers looking at us from either side. We have no idea what they are doing, but they are doing something for us. And so many people, they have mental problems and whatnot. And you said yourself, you come to this place and it gives you some healing energy. And it's not an accident. The flowers are helping us and healing us and, expanding our awareness.
So Dada, for some moment we are together in this scenery of flower and so on. And thank you very much for the nice wisdom. And these white flowers are like your beard here. Thank you so much.